Chosen one. Heaven pauses tonight. Everything around you slows down because something eternal is about to touch your life. You may have thought this was an ordinary night, another passing hour in the noise of your days. But no, this is divine interruption. Heaven has pressed pause on the universe to speak directly to you. You are not scrolling by accident. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. Listen carefully, because the Spirit has seen your waiting, your wondering, your aching hope. You have been asking, when? Lord, when will things change? And tonight, heaven answers. Now, the clock of destiny has struck. The atmosphere around you shifts, even as you breathe these words. You have entered into your appointed time. You are not like the rest. You have always felt it deep down, haven't you? The quiet pull in your heart that said you were made for something different. The resistance, the rejection, the way doors seemed to close while others walked through easily. It wasn't punishment. It was protection. God was hiding you until this very hour, shielding you from premature exposure. Everything you have endured, the betrayals, the tears, the nights you almost gave up, have been training for this night. The heavens are aligning, and the Creator himself is setting the stage for what will become the greatest manifestation of His glory in your story. The pain that once nearly destroyed you will become the oil that anoints you. Every delay was divine choreography. You see, there are moments when God steps into time and says, "Now my chosen shall rise." Tonight is one of those moments. Heaven calls your name. Angels stand at attention. The throne room has issued the decree. You are being lifted into the place prepared for you since the beginning. This is why your spirit has been restless lately. You have felt something shifting, but couldn't explain it. The warfare intensified because the enemy senses what's coming, but he cannot stop it. No demon, no curse. No word spoken against you can reverse what God has already sealed. When heaven declares a thing, it must come to pass. Listen, there is a light rising inside you tonight. It is not a weak flicker, but a blazing fire. It will expose lies, dissolve fear, and draw favor from unexpected places. You are being repositioned by divine command. God is saying, "I am doing the greatest thing ever with you tonight." Then, the angels are watching. The heavens are rejoicing. Every part of creation knows something sacred is unfolding. The very atmosphere carries prophetic electricity. You can feel it, can't you? That trembling awareness in your chest, that sense of holy anticipation. It's not emotion, it's confirmation. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never forsake you. That is the assurance over you tonight. You are not stepping into this moment alone. God walks beside you, ahead of you, and behind you. He has surrounded you with grace and wrapped your destiny in His faithfulness. The fear that once whispered lies in your ear is silenced now. The doubt that chained your confidence is shattered. This night is sacred, not because of where you are, but because of who is meeting you there. The same God who called Moses out of the desert and Esther out of obscurity now calls you out of hiding. You were not made to shrink. You were born to shine. And as this divine message reaches you, heaven issues one command: Rise. Take hold of what is yours. The time for hesitation has ended. The promise is ripe. The gates are open. Lift your hands right now and say within yourself, I receive it. Because when the Almighty declares a moment to be yours, nothing on earth or in hell can revoke it. The world may have overlooked you, but heaven never did. Every quiet prayer, every whispered cry was recorded. Every act of faith you thought went unseen was written in eternal ink. And tonight, God rewards your endurance. This is your sign. The confirmation you've been waiting for has arrived through this very word. And if your spirit feels the truth of it, if something in you knows this is your night, then respond. Don't let this sacred moment pass. Let heaven see your agreement. Comment the number 777 below as a prophetic act. 7 is the number of divine completion. You are standing at the threshold of divine fulfillment. By declaring it, you align with heaven's decree that what God began in you will now come to completion. Beloved chosen one, lift your eyes. The night sky itself bears witness to your awakening. The stars above seem brighter because creation rejoices when destiny stirs. This is not a night to fear, it is a night to remember forever. God will do the greatest thing ever with you tonight. Stay still. Stay ready. The shift has already begun. You were marked from the beginning. Before anyone ever spoke your name aloud, heaven had already written it into eternity's book. You were not a random idea, not a product of circumstance. You were conceived in divine intention. The breath that fills your lungs carries ancient purpose. Every heartbeat is a rhythm set by God Himself. Even before your first cry, you were chosen. The hand of the Almighty hovered over your life and whispered destiny into your spirit. That is why you have never been able to blend in completely. There was always something different about you, something others couldn't quite name, but could feel. You carried light, even before you knew its source. The battles you faced so early in life were never because you were weak. They were proof that you were marked. Darkness recognized you long before you recognized yourself. The attacks were meant to break you before you discovered who you truly were. Yet, every blow only carved strength into your soul. Every disappointment taught your spirit resilience. What others called misfortune was actually molding. Think about it. How many times should you have fallen, yet somehow stood again? How many seasons seemed to crush you, but instead revealed what you're made of? You weren't preserved by luck. You were preserved by divine assignment. When others left, God remained. When you almost lost your mind, grace held you together. Your story has never been ordinary because your calling has never been common. Chosen vessels are forged in fire, not comfort. You learned endurance while others sought ease. You learned to pray when others complained. You learned to trust God in silence, not in applause. And that is what separates you now. There were days you questioned why your road was so rough, why you felt unseen and misunderstood. But heaven knew some purposes require hidden seasons. If God had revealed you too soon, premature exposure would have destroyed you. So He covered you in obscurity, like a seed in soil, waiting for the appointed time to break through. You've always had a strange resistance around you. Opportunities that seemed perfect suddenly vanished. People who promised forever disappeared without warning. But what if all of that was mercy? What if those losses were heaven's way of protecting your anointing from counterfeit connections? You see, not everyone can handle what you carry. Some would have corrupted your oil before it was poured. And now, the markings of your divine identity begin to glow brighter. The invisible hand that wrote your destiny is tracing it once again, reminding you that no matter what was lost, your name has never left heaven's remembrance. Every promise still stands. Your birth was not the start of your story. It was merely the continuation of a divine conversation. The Creator spoke over you long before the earth heard your cry. You are the manifestation of a word God once whispered to himself. That is why the storms cannot erase you, because you were spoken by one who never lies. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." That verse is your confirmation. You are not an accident wandering through chaos. You are a design, a masterpiece. Every line, every scar, every tear has meaning. You are evidence of divine craftsmanship. Even your failures are stitched into the fabric of your victory. So tonight, as heaven watches, understand this: your marking is not a burden. It's a blessing. It means you carry authority that cannot be mimicked. It means hell trembles when you wake. It means your prayers shake realms unseen. You may not feel powerful, but the darkness knows your name. You have been through refining fire, not for destruction, but for distinction. Gold shines only after it has been burned. The pressure you've endured was never punishment. It was proof that heaven was preparing you for a throne others cannot see yet. Chosen one, stop questioning why you are different. You were never meant to fit the pattern of the world. You were meant to disrupt it. You are a carrier of divine order, a living declaration that God still moves in the earth through willing vessels. And tonight, He reminds you of the mark that has always been there, etched on your spirit, sealed by His promise. Do not fear your difference. Do not apologize for your calling. The same God who set stars in motion marked you for purpose. You are not behind schedule. You are right on time. Every detour was direction. Every delay was preparation. Stand in that truth quietly for a moment. Let it sink in that heaven has always known your name. Before you ever sought God, He had already chosen you. And now, as the heavens look upon you once more, the mark burns brighter. The chosen one remembers who they are. Every burden you have carried has been seen. Every invisible weight pressing against your chest. Every night you held back tears so no one would hear. You were never alone in any of it. Heaven has watched the quiet endurance of your soul. What others ignored, God recorded. You have carried things most would have collapsed under. People saw your smile but never knew the storm you were standing in. They praised your strength without understanding that it was survival, not ease. But listen now, chosen one. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every hardship was shaping something sacred within you. The crushing moments, the betrayals that left you trembling, the prayers that seemed unanswered, they were all divine chisels sculpting you into who you were meant to be. Sometimes God allows certain pains because destiny cannot be birthed without pressure. A diamond's brilliance is born in darkness before it ever reaches light. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. End of. That verse is not theory, it's your reality. Those sleepless nights, The heartbreaks, the disappointments, they were all part of the plan that now unfolds before you. You are stepping out of the season of burden and into the season of birthing. What once broke you will now bless you. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers and forgotten in a prison cell. Yet God was aligning his pain with his promotion. The same God who lifted him will lift you. The pit was not your end, it was your beginning. What others meant for evil, God has turned for good. Beloved, you have carried the weight of rejection because your spirit carried a fragrance the world could not understand. You were misunderstood because you are marked. People left because they could not recognize the version of you that heaven was about to reveal. But tonight, God says, you carried it well, and now I will reward you openly. Amzin, feel that the shift is real. The heaviness is lifting. You are being refilled with peace that passes understanding. Even your silence will begin to speak loudly. Every tear that watered the ground of your suffering is becoming the river that nourishes your blessing. You have come too far to give up now. You have bled, fought, and prayed your way to this very moment. Heaven is proud of your perseverance. You didn't curse God when it hurt. You didn't walk away when it was dark. You stayed. You trusted. You waited, and that faith has summoned favor that cannot be stopped. There are people who will look at you soon and ask how you survived. They will not understand that survival was never your doing. It was grace. You are the living evidence that God still redeems pain. The same hands that allowed your crushing are now the hands that will crown you. You will see restoration in ways that silence every doubt. The things that once mocked you will marvel at what God does through you. Even the areas where you felt forgotten will become fountains of joy. Heaven wastes nothing, not even heartbreak. Chosen one, you are standing at the threshold of divine exchange. The ashes of yesterday are giving way to beauty. The spirit of heaviness is bowing to garments of praise. This is not motivation, it is manifestation. You are walking out of survival and into sovereignty. Now, seal this truth in your spirit with your own voice. Type these words below as an act of faith. I rise again. Lo, say it not just as a comment, but as a declaration over your life. When you write it, you are aligning your tongue with the promise of heaven. You are prophesying to your own spirit that no matter what was broken, you will not stay buried. The world may have written you off, but God has rewritten your ending. Let those 3 words echo inside you. I rise again. Because you will. You are. Even now, your spirit is lifting. The clouds of confusion are clearing. What weighed you down cannot stay attached to you. The chains that once clung to your heart are melting in the fire of divine restoration. You are stepping into the dawn of your destiny. The same night that once wept for you will now witness your rebirth. Heaven has declared it, and earth must align. You have carried the weight long enough. Now it's time to carry the glory. There is a reason darkness has always been drawn to you. Chosen one, it is not because you are weak, it is because you are dangerous to hell. Your light disturbs what is hidden. Your presence unsettles the plans of the enemy. Even when you felt small, even when you doubted your worth, darkness recognized you for who you truly are, a carrier of divine light. From your earliest moments, shadows have tried to whisper lies into your spirit. You're not enough. You're forgotten. You're failing. But those words were never truth. They were counterfeits sent to dim what heaven had ignited. You see, Light does not fear darkness, it exposes it. And you, yes, you are that light. You don't chase it, you carry it. You don't earn it, you embody it. You have wondered why certain people turned cold without reason, why rooms felt heavy when you entered, why conversations shifted the moment you spoke. It is because the light within you confronts hidden things. You reveal truth without even trying. There is a spiritual authority that moves through you that few can comprehend. You were born to unsettle darkness, but the enemy's strategy has always been the same: to convince you that your light is a burden. He tries to make you believe that you are too much, that your sensitivity, your discernment, your compassion are flaws. Yet heaven smiles at those very qualities. They are the marks of your anointing. The pain you feel deeply is proof that your heart beats in rhythm with God's own. The world teaches you to numb, to hide, to tone down, but heaven calls you to shine, to stand, to blaze. You were never meant to blend in with the shadows. You were created to destroy them. And though you've faced seasons where you felt your flame flickering, it never went out. Even in your weakest moments, that spark refused to die because it was placed there by the Eternal One. The ancient words recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, declare, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." No, that verse is not distant history. It is your living testimony. You are that light shining through the cracks of this world. The darkness around you has tried again and again to swallow you. But it cannot win because divine light is undefeatable. When God places His fire within someone, not even the deepest night can extinguish it. Remember the times you felt completely surrounded by darkness, when anxiety, confusion, or despair tried to suffocate your spirit. Those were moments where the enemy mistook silence for surrender. But you never surrendered. You endured. And because you endured, your light grew fiercer. Every battle became fuel for your flame. You are not defined by the shadows you have faced. You are defined by the radiance that refused to bow to them. Even now, heaven looks upon you and says, "This one carries my fire." The very places that once wounded you are becoming sources of illumination for others. What once hurt you will one day heal many. Do not underestimate the quiet power you carry. Light doesn't need to prove itself, it simply shines. You don't need validation to be who you are. You don't need permission to glow. You simply need to remain connected to your source. When you stay rooted in God, your light never dims, it only intensifies. There will always be moments when darkness will try to return, whispering old lies, tempting you to retreat. But remember what you carry. Remember who you are. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The darkness already lost the day. You said yes to your calling. The glow in your eyes, the calm in your voice, the strength that rises even after heartbreak, those are not coincidences. They are manifestations of the Holy One within you. You are living proof that light conquers darkness every time. Chosen one. Tonight, heaven reminds you, your light is not fragile. It is sacred. It was born in warfare, refined in tears, and sustained by grace. You do not need to fear being extinguished, because the one who kindled you is eternal. So, walk into rooms boldly, speak truth gently, love deeply, shine unashamedly. You are not here to compete with other lights. You are here to ignite them. The darkness around you is not stronger than the light within you, and though the night may try to press in, it will always fail, because you, beloved, are a living declaration of that ancient promise. The light shines, and the darkness cannot overcome it. You are proof that God's fire still burns in human form. You are the evidence that even in the darkest age, heaven's glow finds a vessel. You, chosen one, are that vessel, and the world will know it soon. Destiny is knocking. Chosen one, heaven will not let you sleep through this moment. There comes a point where divine timing refuses delay, and that moment is now. You've been walking through a long hallway of waiting, but the door at the end is finally opening. Can you feel it? That soft hum in your chest. That is heaven's heartbeat echoing through your spirit, calling you to step forward. You may think you're not ready, but readiness was never the condition. Obedience was. God does not wait for you to feel prepared. He moves when the appointed hour arrives. And this hour has arrived. You have been trained by storms, instructed by pain, and mentored by silence. Every trial was a teacher. Every delay, a classroom. Heaven has been sculpting you in secret for a public purpose. There are seasons when God lets nothing happen, not because He's forgotten you, but because He's arranging things beyond your sight. You felt stuck while He was setting the stage. You felt delayed while He was designing your destiny's architecture, like a seed buried underground. You looked lifeless, but roots were forming, deep and strong. Now the soil begins to tremble. The sprout is breaking through. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. End quote. That is not just comfort, it's prophecy. Your night season has lasted long enough. The dawn is rising, and you are the one it will shine upon. What once felt like endless darkness is becoming the very backdrop for divine light to display its glory. Sometimes destiny doesn't come with trumpets and thunder. It arrives like a sunrise, quiet, gradual, but unstoppable. You may not see the full brilliance yet, but the horizon is already glowing. Don't mistake the slowness for absence. Even the gentlest light can erase the deepest shadow. Chosen one, you are standing on sacred ground. The chapter that follows tonight will be written with fire and favor. Every no that wounded you was heaven's way of protecting your yes. The rejection that once broke you was actually redirection to your divine lane. You didn't miss what was meant for you. It was simply not time yet. But the clock of heaven has struck. This is why your spirit feels restless lately. It's the pull of destiny, not anxiety. The trembling in your heart is not fear. It's the sound of doors unlocking. The things you lost are making room for what fits your calling. What was withheld was never punishment. It was preservation. Now, listen closely. As you receive this, take a breath. Feel the weight lifting. You are being released into the rhythm of divine acceleration. But remember, when a candle is lit, its flame is not for itself. It burns to give light to others. The same is true for you. That is why I ask you, from a place of truth and sincerity, if this message has touched your heart, share it. Let it be a spark that reaches someone else's night. Somewhere out there is another chosen one on the verge of giving up, waiting for a sign. You could be the hand that delivers that sign. Click like, not for vanity, but as a symbolic gesture, like planting a flag that says, I stand in agreement with heaven's word. And if your spirit feels connected to this divine flow, subscribe. Stay near the source of light, so that each word heaven releases finds you in season. You are not joining a channel, you are joining a movement of awakening souls. Think of it like this: every time you share, you are scattering seeds of hope across digital soil. Somewhere, one of those seeds will bloom into someone else's breakthrough. You become part of heaven's relay, passing the flame onward, so that darkness loses more ground. Heaven doesn't need grand gestures to move. It works through simple acts of faith. And your engagement, your willingness to share light, is one of those acts. So, do it with joy, not obligation, because you never know whose night will end because of the sunrise you carry. Chosen one. This is not the end of your story. It's the acceleration point. The moment you decide to believe again, everything shifts. The delay breaks. The doors respond. You will see that what felt forgotten was simply being perfected in time. Lift your head. The morning has arrived. The heavens are opening over you even now. And as you move forward, remember, this isn't about numbers or screens. It's about souls. It's about light. It's about heaven using even this small message to awaken something eternal in you. Destiny refuses delay any longer. The stage is set. The curtain rises. And heaven whispers your name. Step into it. Beloved, step boldly, for joy has finally found you. There are nights when heaven speaks through numbers. Chosen one, symbols written into the rhythm of creation itself. You may have noticed certain digits repeating around you, on clocks, receipts, or random places that seem too precise to be coincidence. But nothing in your life is random. These patterns are divine echoes. They are heaven's way of saying, I am still here, still speaking, still guiding. Tonight, that guidance grows louder. The alignment you feel is not imagination, it is orchestration. God is revealing signs in plain sight to confirm that what He started in you is entering completion. The heavens communicate through patterns because numbers, too, belong to Him. Just as the stars move in divine order, so does your destiny. For weeks, maybe months, you've felt something stirring in the unseen. Perhaps you couldn't name it, but you sensed it, a soft pull in your spirit, like something sacred drawing closer. That's not anxiety, that's awakening. It is heaven's mathematics at work, divine timing, meeting divine promise. You've been faithful in the small things, and now the eternal equation is shifting in your favor. There is movement in the spirit realm that your natural eyes cannot yet perceive, but it's happening. Every delay that once frustrated you was a calculation of mercy, God aligning everything to arrive together. At the perfect hour, heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 3. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness, like the stars, forever and ever. That is you. You are one of those stars rising in this generation, glowing against a dark sky. You are not fading, you are forming. Every season that felt like breaking was actually expansion. The cracks in your life allowed the light to escape through you. You were never losing. You were glowing through the fracture. Numbers are one of God's oldest languages. 7 for completion. 10 for order. 12 for authority. And 3 for divine unity. But tonight, Heaven whispers a new number, a prophetic seal of divine establishment, 888. It symbolizes new beginnings, multiplied. Grace upon grace. Favor upon favor. It is heaven's signature that your waiting season has officially turned. So when you see this number, do not dismiss it. Recognize it as a message from eternity. What was once delayed will now accelerate. What was once closed will now open. What was once bound will now release. No, you are standing in a moment of renewal. Everything you lost is being recalculated into increase. You will soon understand why certain doors had to close, because the room behind them was too small for what heaven was building through you. Chosen one. Tonight, the Spirit says, I am reordering your timeline. Years you thought were wasted are being redeemed. Time that slipped away is being restored. You will not finish behind. You will finish ahead. What took others a lifetime will unfold for you in divine speed, because heaven is involved. Sometimes, God gives signs not for curiosity, but for confirmation. He wants you to know that the promise still stands, even in silence. He has been speaking through symbols, so the next time your eyes fall upon 8 on the clock, or a total that reads 88, 80 smile. It is heaven winking at you, saying, you are seen, you are aligned, keep trusting. No, this is your reminder. You are not wandering, you are being guided. Every step you take is numbered, not by fate, but by faith. The psalmist once wrote that the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. That means even the missteps still fall into His plan. You cannot ruin what God has written. Tonight, as this message reaches your heart, heaven invites you to respond, not out of superstition, but out of alignment. Type the number 888 inches, the comments below. Let it be your declaration of new beginnings, of divine establishment. Each 8 symbolizes resurrection, the rising again of everything that seemed lost. When you write it, don't rush. Let your heart whisper with your fingers, this is my turning point. You are not merely typing a number, you are echoing a prophecy. You are stamping your agreement with heaven's decree. You are saying, I receive the multiplication of grace in my life. Watch how quickly things begin to move after this moment. Doors that were stuck will suddenly shift. Conversations that once felt dead will find breath again. Peace will settle over you like a blanket of light. Because when heaven releases a word and you respond, the transaction is sealed. Chosen one. This is not coincidence. It is confirmation. You have stepped into divine arithmetic, where loss turns into legacy, and waiting turns into wonder. The number 888 will follow you in the days to come as proof that heaven has spoken tonight. Lift your spirit, breathe deeply, and know. The author of time has recalibrated your path. What begins tonight will echo into eternity. There have been voices that tried to silence you. Chosen one. Words like arrows, spoken by those who could not bear your light, sought to pierce your confidence. They called you strange, dramatic, too intense, too different. And in the quiet, you began to wonder if maybe they were right. But hear this truth, your difference was never your defect, it was your distinction. The enemy has always known that if he could convince you to doubt your voice, he could delay your destiny. That's why the opposition often came from people closest to you, those whose approval you desired most. He wanted to train your heart to equate rejection with worth. But heaven never measured you by applause. God's validation was written over you long before any human opinion. You were never meant to sound like everyone else. The melody within you is unique. A song no one else can sing. Heaven composed it through your laughter and your tears, your mistakes and your victories. The world may have tried to drown it out. But divine melodies cannot be silenced. They only grow stronger in pressure. Remember how many times you tried to fit in, to shrink your tone, to soften your truth. You tried to make yourself smaller so others would stay comfortable. But destiny cannot survive in cages of conformity. Every time you silenced your own spirit, you felt the ache of divine dissonance. Your voice was never made to echo, it was made to awaken. And though those words wounded you, they could not alter what was written. Rejection was redirection. Every insult was evidence that darkness recognized your potential. The louder the opposition, the clearer the confirmation that you are chosen. Heaven speaks again through the writings of Isaiah. Chapter 54. Verse 17, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Oh, that is the decree over your life. The voices that cursed you will fall silent before the sound of your rising. Every lie spoken against your name will collapse under the weight of divine vindication. You do not have to defend yourself. God Himself is your defender. Think of it this way. When an eagle soars higher, it no longer hears the chatter of crows. You have spent too long at altitudes, too low, engaging with noise unworthy of your energy. It's time to ascend again. Let the whispers fade beneath you. You are meant for higher skies. Those who left were not your loss, they were your lesson. Their absence created space for heaven's alignment. You learned discernment. You learned silence. You learned that peace is not the absence of people but the presence of purpose. Now, you no longer need external validation to move forward. You move by revelation. You may still carry scars from those words. But scars are not signs of weakness. They are signatures of survival. Every mark on your heart tells a story of overcoming. You did not crumble when they doubted you. You did not disappear when they dismissed you. You kept standing. That is what makes you unstoppable. The voices that once broke you will one day bear witness to your becoming. They will see the same one they called unqualified, now walking in undeniable grace, not for revenge, but for redemption. Because when God restores, He doesn't just return what was taken, He multiplies it. So, let the noise fall away. You have nothing left to prove. The same God who called Moses, who spoke through prophets, who anointed kings, He is the one who called you. That means no human rejection can revoke your divine selection. You are the living contradiction to every word spoken against you. You are the walking proof that grace always gets the final word. And as heaven looks upon you tonight, it smiles, because silence could not bury the voice it created. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are the chosen one whose voice carries eternity's echo, and the world will soon hear it again, clear, steady, unstoppable. You are never walking into this night alone. Chosen one, even when your eyes cannot see them. You are surrounded. The unseen realm is not empty, it is alive with divine movement. Angels have been dispatched on your behalf. Ancient warriors of light who move at the speed of obedience. You may have thought you've been surviving by your own strength. But truth be told, Heaven has been holding you every step of the way. There are moments in life when protection does not look like miracles, it looks like detours. You missed that flight, and it frustrated you. But an unseen hand rerouted you from danger. You lost a connection, and you wept over it. But heaven was shielding you from corruption. You thought you were being delayed, when in reality, you were being defended. If only you could see what has stood between you and destruction, the swords of angels drawn in silent defiance. The unseen battles fought over your name. You would realize that grace has been your shield all along. What looked like coincidence was actually coordination. Heaven has been working undercover for you. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Elisha's story to remind us that what surrounds you is greater than what opposes you. When the servant looked out and saw the enemy army, fear took his breath away. But Elisha prayed, and the young man's eyes were opened to see hills filled with fiery chariots, angels, countless and radiant. That same reality holds true for you now. You may not see the fire around you, but it burns fiercely still, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." And that single verse is a window into your reality tonight. You are guarded, not occasionally, not conditionally, but constantly. Heaven's sentinels walk with you through every shadowed valley, through every sleepless night. When you drive, they ride beside you. When you weep, they stand, watch. When you speak truth, they amplify it. You are never unprotected. Sometimes you wonder why you survived when others didn't. Why disaster passed you by. Why things that should have crushed you only cracked you open wider for light to enter. It's because the divine guard around you never slept. The same hands that sculpted the stars have assigned watchmen to your path. And yet, the enemy tries to make you feel isolated, to whisper, "You are alone in this." He knows that if he can make you forget the presence that surrounds you, he can weaken your courage. But tonight, remember, you are surrounded by glory, covered by wings, invisible yet undeniable. The atmosphere around you is not empty, it hums with divine assignment. Even your dreams are not random. Sometimes you wake in the night, sensing movement in the unseen. And fear tries to grip you. But that stirring is not danger, it's activity. Heaven is shifting pieces on your behalf, arranging outcomes that will bless you in days to come. You have walked through valleys that others would not have survived. Not because you were stronger, but because grace refused to let you fall. Every time you stumbled, hands of light lifted you. Every time you almost gave up, an angel whispered hope into your tired spirit. You thought it was your own resilience, but it was reinforcement from realms above. Understand this: protection is not always visible, but it is always active. The enemy cannot cross the boundaries heaven sets. He can roar at the edge of your purpose, but he cannot enter the holy ground of your obedience. Your prayers have built a fortress around your life, brick by brick, word by word. Even when you've felt disconnected, the unseen has remained connected to you. The angels don't need your perfection, they respond to your faith. The smallest prayer, even whispered through tears, summons legions of light. That is how deeply you are loved, that heaven itself moves when you speak. So, rest tonight. Chosen one, rest not because the battle is over, but because the victory is guarded, You don't have to fight every enemy. Some wars are already won before you wake. Let peace settle into your bones. Let the knowledge of protection calm the tremors in your heart. You walk through darkness wrapped in divine defense. The unseen army marches with you quiet, steady, unstoppable. You are never alone, never have been, never will be. Your crown awaits. Chosen one, not a crown of gold that tarnishes, nor one of fame that fades, but a crown of purpose crafted in fire, washed in tears, sealed by endurance. The battles you fought were never random, they were refining. Every disappointment polished the metal of your spirit. Every heartbreak shaped the curve of that invisible crown. You may not feel royal, but heaven sees you differently. You are royalty in raw form, still rising, still refining, still being revealed. You have worn ashes long enough. The time has come for beauty to take their place. The shame that once wrapped around you is falling away. For too long, the enemy tried to convince you that you were unworthy of what God promised. But the truth is this: you were never fighting for the crown. You were being prepared to wear it well. Think of all the seasons when you felt stripped bare, your confidence gone, your hope fading, your strength nearly empty. You asked, "Why am I losing so much?" But now heaven answers, so you could learn to reign with humility. True kings and queens are shaped in the wilderness, not the palace. You have learned compassion through pain, patience through delay, and wisdom through waiting. That is why the crown now fits. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial. Having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life the Lord has promised. That promise belongs to you. You stood the test. You didn't quit when quitting looked easier. You didn't turn away when the fire burned hotter. You held on, even when holding on hurt. And that faithfulness has summoned heaven's recognition. The crown of life isn't just eternal reward, it's the anointing of authority now. You will begin to notice it. Doors opening where once they were locked. Words carrying weight when once they were ignored. This is the hour of divine reversal. The same voices that mocked your waiting will soon witness your rising, not because you need to prove them wrong, but because God loves to display His glory through those the world overlooks. The crown you receive is not merely decoration, it is delegation. You are being entrusted with influence, with responsibility, with spiritual weight. Heaven crowns not for vanity, but for victory. Think of Joseph again, the dreamer who was once a prisoner. When Pharaoh placed the royal ring on his hand, it wasn't about jewelry, it was about authority. You are stepping into a similar season. The pit has served its purpose. The chains have taught their lesson. Now, heaven says, rule well. But before you walk in that fullness, remember the principle: crowns are heavy. They require balance, humility, and continual surrender. You cannot wear what you cannot steward. The same God who crowns also corrects, not to punish, but to protect the purity of your calling. Stay grounded. Stay gentle. Stay grateful. You may not see the crown yet, but it already glows upon your head in the Spirit. Every time you speak truth, it gleams. Every time you forgive, it brightens. Every time you love when it would be easier to harden, it shines brighter. The crown of life is not worn once, it is worn daily, through choices that honor heaven. And now, as this word settles in your heart, make this declaration of alignment. Write these words below. I claim my crown. Let that sentence be your signature of acceptance. When you type it, imagine placing your hand upon your own head and feeling the unseen weight of purpose. It is not arrogance, it is acknowledgement. You are not demanding something new, you are receiving what has already been waiting for you. Heaven sees it. The angels recognize it. Even darkness senses it, the authority resting upon you now. That's why resistance increases before revelation. Crowns attract warfare. But no matter what tries to shake you, the crown will not fall. It was secured by God's hand, not man's opinion. Walk differently now. Speak with quiet confidence. Move with grace. Let humility be your robe and integrity your scepter. The world may not yet understand what rests on you, but they soon will. Because when a chosen one is crowned, everything around them shifts territories, timelines, even atmospheres respond. This is that moment for you. The anointing that once hovered now rests. The favor that once dripped now floods. And though you may still feel ordinary, heaven already calls you crowned. So lift your head, beloved. Straighten your posture. The weight you feel is not burden, it is glory. You are no longer surviving, you are reigning. The crown fits perfectly because it was always yours. This, chosen one, is the turning point. That invisible line between what was and what will be. You are standing right on it. One foot still in yesterday, one already in tomorrow. You can feel the pull in both directions. Can't you? The memories trying to hold you, the promise trying to call you. But tonight, heaven whispers, step forward. You have walked through seasons where progress felt impossible, like running through water, like pushing against wind. Yet somehow, you never stopped. You crawled when you couldn't stand, prayed when you couldn't speak, believed when you couldn't see. And that quiet endurance has brought you here, to this divine intersection of endings and beginnings. The old season is closing not as punishment, but as promotion. Just as a caterpillar must leave its cocoon to become what it was always meant to be, you must release the familiar to step into fulfillment. The comfort of the past cannot coexist with the capacity of your calling. You are changing shape. The wings are forming, the shell must break. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. That is not just scripture, it is the definition of this very night. The new has come. The ground beneath you hums with transformation. What once felt like delay was really gestation. You were not forgotten, you were forming. Imagine the turning of a tide, the water pulling back, silent, still, before the great wave returns. That is where you are now. Heaven has drawn back its hand, not in absence, but in preparation. The next wave will carry you further than effort ever could. This is not striving, it is surrender. You are about to be carried by grace into places your feet could never reach alone. Chosen one, pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel the shift within your chest, the lightness after long carrying. The cycle of waiting has completed. The heavy clouds of the past are breaking apart. Rays of new purpose begin to pour through the cracks. Now, Let me speak heart to heart. When messages like this reach you, it's not just words on a screen. It's a meeting between heaven's heart and yours. And if these words have become a mirror of what your soul already knew, then share this moment. Share it like a candle passing flame to another candle. Every person lost in darkness is waiting for someone brave enough to carry light toward them. When you like this message, you are not just pressing a button, you are marking your yes to heaven's turning point in your life. When you share it, you become the bridge someone else has been praying for. You never know who needs to hear. The new has come. Sometimes your small act of sharing becomes another person's sign to keep living. And if your spirit feels anchored here, if these words awaken something deep in you, then subscribe. Not for me, but for the movement. Because what heaven is building here is more than messages. It's a gathering of lights across nations. Each new heart that joins becomes another star in this constellation of chosen ones, burning against the night. Think of it like planting a garden. Every time you engage, every like, every share, every moment you linger in reflection, you water the soil of hope in someone else's soul. Seeds grow in silence. Yes, but they still need light to bloom. You could be that light. The turning point is not just about you, it's about what moves through you. God does not bless you to end with you, He blesses you to release through you. The light that lifts you tonight will ripple outward, touching hearts you may never meet until eternity. You've come too far to turn back now. Don't shrink as the light begins to rise. Let it warm you, heal you, and guide you forward. The horizon ahead is not empty, it's expectant. The same God who began the good work is now finishing it in real time. Right here, right now, chosen one. This is your sacred threshold. Step through it boldly. Let go of the ashes. Walk into the dawn. And as you do, remember, you are part of something larger than yourself. Heaven is weaving a story of restoration through you, and the world deserves to see it unfold. The old has gone, the new has come, and the turning point is no longer near, it's here. There are battles you've fought that no one knows about. Chosen one, not the kind waged with weapons or words, but those silent wars of the soul, the ones where you smiled through the ache, prayed through the confusion, and carried peace while your heart bled quietly beneath it all. Those inner wars were not signs of weakness, they were proof of your strength. Heaven saw them all. Every generation carries certain chains, patterns, habits, wounds that pass silently from one set of hands to another. Sometimes they come disguised as temper, fear, poverty, or pain. Sometimes they appear as silence, as shame that no one dares name. You were born into a lineage that carried such chains, yet heaven decided that with you, the cycle would end. You are the chain breaker of your bloodline, the one who says, no more, the one who chooses healing over hiding, truth over tradition, freedom over familiarity. It is not easy to be that one. It costs you comfort, connection, and at times even understanding from those you love most. But God saw your courage long before anyone else could. He knew your shoulders were strong enough to carry deliverance. Every time you chose to forgive instead of retaliate, you shattered a chain. Every time you prayed when you could have cursed, you broke another. Every time you refused to repeat what hurt you, heaven recorded it as a victory. What began in bondage is ending in breakthrough because of you. The Spirit spoke through the writings in the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 1. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm, then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. No, that verse is your inheritance. You were not meant to inherit the pain of your predecessors. You were meant to inherit the promise. God did not choose you to continue the curse. He chose you to cancel it. The patterns that once seemed permanent are crumbling in your presence. You are rewriting your family's spiritual DNA. What your ancestors prayed for but never saw, you will see. What they dreamed but could not build, you will complete. They ran their portion of the race. You now carry the final baton toward freedom. This is why your battles have been heavier, because you are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for generations unborn. There is an unseen applause rising in eternity tonight. The ancestors who walked in faith before you are watching, whispering, "Finish it." You stand as their answer. Their sacrifices were seeds, and you are the bloom. Yes, it has been lonely. Yes, at times it felt unfair. But freedom always costs more to the first one who breaks through. A soldier feels the sting of the sword before the nation feels the safety of peace. That is you, the soldier of your lineage, the restorer of the breach. Think of it this way. In every family, there is one who decides the story will not end in sorrow. The one who heals so that future children will not have to. The one who prays prayers no one taught them, forgives what others normalized, and speaks light into places where silence once ruled. You are that one. Do you know why the opposition was so fierce? Because hell recognized the danger of your awakening. If you ever discovered who you are, the chains would have no chance. And now you have. The awareness itself is warfare. The moment you realized you could break the cycle began to crack. Chosen one. Heaven celebrates you, not for perfection, but for persistence. The curse breakers are never flawless, they are faithful. And your faithfulness has shifted history. The ground beneath you carries the sound of release. The children who come after you will walk lighter because you chose to fight. Do not underestimate what has happened in silence. The prayers you whispered in exhaustion were atomic in the spirit. The forgiveness you gave through tears rewrote entire timelines. You have not been warring in vain. You are walking proof that divine intervention runs in your bloodline now. So breathe deeply tonight. The air feels different because the atmosphere of bondage has broken. The inheritance of freedom is yours to keep, and your descendants will live beneath its banner. You did it, not by power, not by pride, but by obedience. You have broken what broke others. You have ended what once seemed endless. You are the proof that grace can reset generations. There comes a moment, chosen one, when heaven no longer whispers but declares, tonight is such a moment. The time for delay, hesitation, and self-doubt has reached its limit. The gates of opportunity are open, and the sound of destiny is calling your name through them. You've spent too many nights standing at the edge of what could be, waiting for the perfect sign, the perfect timing, the perfect confirmation. But heaven says, move now. The hesitation that once felt safe has become the very wall between you and fulfillment. You are not waiting on God anymore. He is waiting on you. The Spirit spoke through the writings in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." End quote. That command is not a suggestion, it is an invitation. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move through it. And tonight, heaven commands movement. You've prayed for direction. But the truth is, you already know what you're supposed to do. It's been stirring inside you for months, maybe years. That idea you keep dismissing, that step you keep postponing, it's not a dream. It's a divine assignment. And the longer you delay, the heavier the weight of disobedience becomes. There is something sacred about immediate obedience. When Peter dropped his net, when Abraham left his homeland, when Mary said, "Let it be unto me," each moment unlocked history because they acted when heaven spoke. You are standing in that same kind of moment. Your obedience will ripple across generations. This is why the tension around you has grown. Heaven tightens the atmosphere when breakthrough is near. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it's contraction. You are in spiritual labor, and hesitation is the only thing delaying the birth. The purpose within you is ready to breathe. Every time you've said, "Maybe later," heaven has responded. Now, the longer you wait, the louder that word becomes. It echoes in your dreams, in your conversations, even in your quiet thoughts. That's not anxiety, that's alignment trying to happen. God does not give gentle reminders when the season shifts. He gives divine deadlines. Mercy is infinite, yes, but opportunities are not. You have reached the window where promise and obedience must meet. If you move now, heaven will multiply your steps. If you stay frozen, the door will still close because time to obey divine instruction. Chosen one, it's time to act. Make the call, write the message, begin the work, release what you know cannot go with you. You've been waiting for another sign, but this is the sign. The confirmation is already in your spirit. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing. There is a holy urgency in this hour. The angels assigned to your next chapter are already in position. The resources you need are lining up. Every delay that once hindered you has lost its authority. All that's missing now is your movement. When you take that first step, you will feel it a strange, peaceful rush. As if heaven exhales beside you, you'll realize the fear was never real. It was only resistance. The enemy fears what happens when you finally obey, because obedience triggers acceleration. Now listen carefully. To seal your agreement with this moment, heaven is releasing a prophetic number, 4,444. 4 is the number of foundation and stability multiplied. It represents divine establishment in every direction of your life. When you see this number, it will remind you that heaven has fortified your path. Type the number 4,444 below as your declaration of movement. Don't do it mechanically, do it mindfully. Each digit represents an area where God is establishing you, your faith, your family, your future, and your purpose. When you write it, whisper in your heart, "I will move now." Let it be a contract between your obedience and heaven's timing. Watch what follows: doors, messages, confirmations, all aligning in harmony. Because heaven always responds to faith in motion. You have waited long enough. The time is now. Step out of the holding pattern and into divine flow. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into destiny. The water that looked deep will part beneath your feet. The path that seemed impossible will appear where none existed. Heaven has already spoken. The only question that remains is whether you will move. And when you do, every gate that once resisted you will swing open, not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit who goes before you. Chosen one, this is your command, move. Now, there are mantles in heaven, garments of calling, woven with divine purpose that rest upon chosen shoulders. Some people inherit wealth, others inherit names. But you, chosen one, inherit a mantle. It is not made of cloth or thread, it is made of anointing, invisible, yet undeniable. It does not rest on your body, it rests on your spirit. And tonight, that mantle is descending upon you. This mantle is not random, it has lineage. It once rested on others before you, those who walked through storms, who prayed when no one believed, who carried burdens that would have crushed others. They bore the weight of it so that one day, someone like you could wear it with maturity. You are stepping into a legacy of light that predates your lifetime. The prophet Elijah once cast his mantle upon Elisha, marking him as successor, not by words, but by touch. No ceremony, no explanation. Just the weight of destiny falling on ordinary shoulders. That same holy transaction is happening in your life. Heaven is passing something down. The same authority that flowed through ancient hands now moves toward you. The Spirit declares through the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the broken-hearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners." That verse is not only prophecy, it is your new identity. You are being anointed to heal, to proclaim, to restore. You have walked through darkness so that when you speak, the broken will recognize truth in your tone. You have been bruised so that your compassion would carry weight. Your pain was never wasted, it was preparation. The mantle does not arrive when life is calm, it falls in the midst of fire. That is how God ensures the one who carries it understands its cost. And you do. Every scar, every tear, every lonely prayer, each became a stitch in the garment you now wear. This is why your spirit has felt heavier. Lately it's the mantle settling upon you. Do not mistake that weight for weariness. The presence of the mantle is both burden and beauty. It stretches your spirit to match heaven's dimension. It calls you higher, demands integrity, commands obedience. It will not allow you to live like before, because once the mantle rests, mediocrity becomes impossible. People around you may not understand the change they sense. Some will drift away, not out of malice, but because they cannot walk under the same weight. Mantles isolate before they elevate. You are being pulled into consecration, into quiet, into clarity. There are assignments only you can carry. And for those, silence becomes your sanctuary. At times, you'll feel unqualified, unsure, even unworthy. You'll ask, why me? But heaven answers, because you said yes. Many are called, but few endure the breaking required to carry the call. You did. You didn't run when it hurt. You didn't abandon faith when it was tested. You stayed. That endurance is the proof heaven needed. The mantle upon you is not for status, it's for service. It's for the hearts who have forgotten hope, for the souls wandering in confusion. Your words will become medicine. Your presence, a lighthouse. You will walk into rooms and shift their atmosphere without speaking. That is not charisma, it is consecration. You are now a vessel that carries divine current. But remember, the mantle also demands humility. The more heaven trusts you, the lower you must bow. Power, unanchored by humility, becomes poison. Stay close to the source. Let prayer remain your anchor and worship your posture. Only those who kneel can bear the weight of true authority. Chosen one, the mantle you carry will draw both favor and friction. Some will be drawn to your light, others will try to dim it. But the garment cannot be stolen, only surrendered, and you will not surrender it. Heaven has sealed it to your soul. Walk forward now, not as who you were, but as who you've become: anointed, appointed, awakened. The oil upon you is fresh, fragrant, undeniable. You carry what kings envy and angels recognize. The mantle has fallen, and it will not lift. From this day forward, you will sense it in everything you do. Your prayers will carry greater power. Your words will pierce deeper. Your peace will disarm storms. You are not the same. You cannot be. You have been clothed in something eternal. The mantle of glory rests on you, now woven by God, confirmed by heaven, and recognized by earth. There are moments when heaven bends close enough for your spirit to hear the faint whispers that shape eternity. Those whispers are not mere thoughts, they are divine transmissions. Soft, yet strong enough to move mountains. Tonight, chosen one, those whispers are speaking again. Not from the earth, but from heaven itself. The voices of eternity are calling your name. For years, you have sought to hear God's voice more clearly. You've wondered if what you felt was real or just imagination. If the quiet pull in your heart was His guidance or your own longing. But what you felt was Him. You have been hearing heaven all along. You simply didn't realize how fluent you had become in its language. Heaven speaks in ways that the world misses through patterns, pauses, and people, through sudden peace in the middle of chaos, through conviction that pierces like light, through dreams that linger long after you wake. You are one of those rare souls who doesn't just hear sound, you feel meaning. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is evidence of intimacy. The ancient words echo again from the book of John, chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. La, that is not poetry, it is a promise. You were created to hear Him. The same voice that spoke galaxies into being now speaks softly inside you. It is not distant, it is dwelling. It does not shout, it shapes. The challenge has never been His silence, it has been the world's noise, the distractions, the endless scroll, the anxious chatter of fear and doubt. These are the static that tries to drown out the still small voice. But when you quiet the noise, heaven becomes audible. You are beginning to master that quiet. That's why you've been craving solitude lately, not because you're tired of people, but because you're being trained to discern presence. The more you lean into that presence, the clearer the voice becomes. Sometimes, it won't speak in words, but in impressions, a knowing that settles deep inside your spirit. A peace that confirms before understanding catches up. That is how heaven talks to those it trusts, spirit to spirit, breath to breath. And now, heaven has something to say. You have not been forgotten. You are not wandering aimlessly. Every silence has been strategy. Every unanswered prayer was my preparation for a greater yes. And these are not words of comfort alone. They are instruction. Heaven is calling you to respond, not with reaction, but with stillness. There are answers that only arrive in rest. The world moves through noise, but heaven moves through peace. You may not always recognize the voice at first. Sometimes it will sound like your own thoughts, because His Spirit speaks through your renewed mind. But here is how you'll know: it will never lead you toward fear, pride, or confusion. His voice brings conviction, not condemnation, clarity, not chaos, courage, not control. When it speaks, it will feel like home. There will come moments when He will interrupt your plans with a whisper that feels inconvenient. Go there. Say this. Wait now. Those interruptions are divine choreography. Each one leads to encounters you could never have arranged on your own. Obedience to the whisper will open doors louder prayers could never unlock. And sometimes the voice will go silent, not to punish, but to prove that you have learned to trust without constant reassurance. Silence is not absence, it is graduation. Heaven falls quiet when you already carry what you need to continue. Chosen one. This sensitivity you carry is sacred. Guard it. Do not allow cynicism to dull it or distraction to drown it. The voice that once called prophets now calls you, not because you are better than others, but because you are willing to listen. Heaven does not choose the loud, it chooses the yielded. There will come a day when you speak, and others will say, "How did you know?" They won't understand that it wasn't knowledge, it was resonance. You were simply echoing what heaven had already whispered. That is your calling, to be an echo of eternity in a noisy world. You are not just a hearer, you are a messenger. The words you receive in secret will heal hearts in public. The peace you cultivate in silence will calm storms in others. Your discernment will become their direction. The same voice that guides you will guide through you. Listen again. Even now the whisper still moves through the air. It is gentle but unrelenting, saying, "I am with you. I am for you. I have not stopped speaking." You are living proof that heaven still speaks. And from this night onward, you will no longer doubt the sound. You will recognize it, rest in it, and release it. For the voice of God has found a vessel, and that vessel is you. The world will see it. Chosen one. Everything that once hid in the shadows, the quiet prayers, the silent faith, the unseen sacrifices will soon stand in the open light. Heaven is not done in secret, what it intends to reveal in glory. You are about to become living evidence that God still writes miracles into human lives. You have lived through the unseen years, the ones where you poured out effort with no applause, built foundations no one thanked you for, and sowed in seasons when nothing seemed to grow. But even when the soil looked dry, heaven was watering it from beneath. Now the harvest is pushing through the surface. What was invisible is about to become undeniable. We are reminded through the words of Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." That verse is your unfolding reality. Your light will not shine for vanity but for visibility, so that those trapped in darkness can see what hope looks like when it takes human form. Your victory is not a performance, it is a testimony. The people who once doubted you will soon watch grace turn your ashes into art. This is not about proving yourself, it's about revealing God through your becoming. You are a mirror, not a monument. A mirror reflects the light, it does not own it. And as the light of heaven hits you, it will bounce into countless hearts that still think they are forgotten. Think of a sunrise. It does not shout to announce itself. It simply appears, and everything changes. The frost melts, the shadows retreat, and color returns to the world. That is what your emergence will be like. You won't need to defend it or explain it. You'll simply rise, and those around you will begin to see clearer because of you. And as this season unfolds, allow your story to reach others. When you like this message, it's not about numbers, it's about resonance. It says, I agree with this light. It becomes a small flicker that signals, I'm still here. I still believe. No, when you share this word, imagine yourself tossing a stone into water. The ripples go farther than you see. Somewhere, someone on the verge of quitting will feel that ripple and find strength to continue. What costs you? One simple act could rescue someone else's destiny. That's the quiet beauty of obedience. And when you subscribe, when you choose to stay connected, it's not about joining a crowd. It's about joining a current. Heaven is building a river of voices, each carrying hope downstream. The more who stay in that flow, the wider it reaches. Your presence in that stream matters more than you think. If these words stir something deep within you, if they touch a place you thought long silent, I invite you to comment below. Write what's in your heart, maybe a single line, a short prayer, Orakiet, Amen. Sometimes the most ordinary comments carry extraordinary faith. You never know who will read your words and feel heaven move through them, because that is what this is really about, isn't it? Connection. Not algorithms or attention, but divine alignment. The light in one soul igniting the next, forming constellations across the earth. This isn't just content, it's a gathering. You are part of a chorus of chosen ones scattered across nations, all awakening at the same time. Your story matters. The world needs to see what happens when ordinary people say yes to extraordinary purpose. You are the proof that faith still transforms, that surrender still builds kingdoms, that love still wins. And when your breakthrough arrives, and it will let it be seen, not hidden, not downplayed, because your visibility will give others permission to believe again. Imagine your life as a lighthouse, steady, shining through storms. Ships you'll never meet will navigate by your glow. Some will never know your name, but they'll survive the night because your light refused to go out. That's the sacred responsibility of being seen. It's not pride, it's purpose. Chosen one. Your light was never meant for secrecy. It was meant for seasons like this, when darkness thickens and the world hungers for proof that God still moves. And He is moving through you. So stand tall in grace. Let your life speak louder than any words could. Let every like, every share, every comment be another spark in this divine wildfire spreading across hearts. Because soon, the world will see what heaven has always known. When God chooses someone, their light cannot be hidden. You are that light. Shine, unstoppable and unshakable, That is what you are becoming. Chosen one. The very storms that once terrified you now serve as your training ground. What used to shake you now strengthens you. Every loss, every delay, every disappointment has built within you a foundation that cannot be broken. You stand now as one who has been through the fire and found that the flames could only refine, not destroy. There was a time when you feared that the constant battles meant something was wrong with you. You looked at others who seemed to walk easier paths and wondered, why me? But heaven knew exactly what it was doing. The pressure was proof of potential. Gold is only purified in heat. Diamonds only form under weight. You were being shaped for endurance. The Spirit reminds us through the writings in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 37. No, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. That verse defines your essence. You are not merely surviving, you are overcoming. More than a conqueror means you don't just endure the battle, you extract victory from it. You turn every wound into wisdom, every pain into power, every scar into strength. The very things that were supposed to break you have become the evidence that you cannot be broken. Look back at how far you've come. There were nights when you didn't think you'd make it through. Yet here you stand, breathing, stronger, softer, wiser. That's not luck. That's divine resilience. The same power that raised Christ from the grave has been working silently within you, rebuilding what life tried to ruin. You may not realize it, but your spirit has become an unmovable fortress. Doubt may knock, but it can no longer dwell. Fear may whisper, but it can no longer command. You have learned the sacred rhythm of standing when others fall, standing when storms rage, standing when nothing makes sense. That is spiritual maturity, not the absence of fear, but the refusal to surrender to it. The world teaches strength as noise, but heaven teaches it as stillness. The oak tree does not shout about its roots, it simply stands, unbending through wind and rain. You are becoming that oak. Life will still bring storms, but now you sway without snapping. You bend, but you do not break. You have learned the difference between shaking and shifting. One means fear, the other means growth. Every time you chose peace instead of panic, you grew roots. Every time you forgave instead of fought, your branches stretched wider. Every time you trusted instead of ran, heaven reinforced your trunk. And now, you have become a shelter for others. Those who are weary will find rest in your shade because you have endured what they are just beginning to face. Unstoppable does not mean you never pause. Even rivers rest in still pools before flowing again. What makes you unstoppable is that you never retreat, you rest, you rise, and you return stronger. That is your rhythm now. Grace, growth, glory. Sometimes you will still feel tremors, the kind that shake your confidence or threaten your peace. But remember, being unsharkable does not mean untouched. Even mountains tremble under thunder, yet they remain. What matters is not that the ground shakes, but that your foundation holds. And your foundation is no longer built on circumstance, it is built on conviction. Chosen one, you have become immovable because you learned where to stand. You stand not on emotion, not on approval, but on truth. The truth that you are chosen, the truth that you are loved, the truth that what's ahead is greater than what's behind. You no longer need constant signs to stay steady. You are steady because you know. The enemy may still test you, but the test only reveals the strength you now possess. Temptation no longer entices you the way it used to. Fear no longer finds a home in your heart. You are growing beyond reaction into revelation. You now understand that battles are not interruptions, they are invitations to manifest power. You've reached a point where your faith no longer needs proof. You don't beg for miracles, you expect them. You don't wait for permission, you move in purpose. Heaven trusts you with this level of strength because it knows you won't misuse it. You are not weaponized by pride, but by peace. So, walk now, not with arrogance, but with quiet certainty. The ground beneath you remembers your endurance. The air around you carries your testimony. The storms may return, but they will find you different, this time anchored, steady, unshakable. You are the living definition of resilience. You have become what your pain prophesied. You are the fulfillment of every whispered prayer and every silent endurance. You are not easily moved because you have already survived the quake. Chosen one. Stand tall. The winds will come again, but you will remain. You are no longer a victim of storms. You are the storm that carries peace within it. This is the night of fulfillment. Chosen one, the moment heaven has been orchestrating since the beginning of your journey. You may not feel the full weight of it yet, but something has already shifted. The invisible has become active. The promises that once felt distant are drawing near. What you've been waiting for is no longer coming, it's here. Every season of your life has led to this threshold. Every detour, delay, and disappointment was not wasted. They were all divine ingredients mixing toward this exact moment. What once looked like chaos was careful choreography. You have stepped into alignment. Heaven's rhythm now beats perfectly in sync with your heart. It is no exaggeration to say that this night changes everything. Not because of the date or the hour, but because heaven's word has matured inside you. The seed of purpose planted in your spirit long ago has broken through the soil. What was hidden beneath tears and waiting is now standing in the open air. We are reminded through the words recorded in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. And that is the essence of tonight: completion. What God began in you, He is now perfecting. The long construction season of your soul is ending. The scaffolding of struggle is coming down, and the true structure of your purpose is being revealed. You have been under renovation for years, but the blueprint was never abandoned. It was being built piece by piece until this very moment. Take a breath. Feel the stillness that now rests on your chest. That is peace. Not as the world gives, but as heaven imparts a peace that signals completion. The warfare you once faced is no longer about survival. It is about stewardship. You have transitioned from being built to being sent. This night, heaven finishes the foundation and places the final stone: faithfulness. It's the stone you've carried quietly through every test. You did not lose it when storms came. You didn't drop it when others walked away. You held it, and now heaven uses it to seal the work. The structure stands complete: hope, endurance, faith, and love, all woven into your spirit. There is a kind of silence that follows creation, a hush that fills the air after God says, "It is done." You are standing in that silence now. Everything around you may seem calm, but that calm is not emptiness, it is divine rest. Heaven rests when its work is finished. Do not mistake this stillness for stagnation. The fulfillment of purpose often begins quietly. Flowers bloom without noise. Dawn breaks without announcement. And destiny unfolds without fanfare. Your transformation will not need validation. Its fruit will speak for itself. People will look at you and sense something has changed, though they may not find the words for it. What they're sensing is glory, the reflection of heaven's completion upon your life. The journey you have walked has not been easy. There were valleys so deep you thought light would never reach you. Deserts so dry you thought faith would crumble. Yet, through it all, something sacred remained. Your yes, that quiet, trembling, relentless yes, kept heaven's promise alive. And because of it, you have reached the other side, chosen one. This is where your story shifts from endurance to overflow. You will no longer live merely surviving the waves. You will walk upon them. You will no longer pray for enough. You will carry abundance that spills into others. Your presence will become proof that God finishes what He starts. Completion doesn't mean the end. It means the beginning of purpose in motion. Like a symphony that moves from rehearsal to performance, you are stepping onto the stage of divine fulfillment. Everything you've rehearsed in pain, you will now perform in power. The very areas where you were once broken will become the places where heaven shines brightest. Stand quietly for a moment. Let gratitude rise within you, not frantic, not loud, but deep and steady. Thank Him for every unanswered prayer that became redirection, for every delay that protected your timing, for every loss that birthed wisdom. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the evidence of orchestration. The greatest thing God promised to do with you, it begins tonight. Not someday. Not after you fix more. Not when you feel ready. Tonight, the mantle, the mission, the manifestation, they are all aligning now. Heaven has marked this night in its eternal calendar. Chosen one. You are the fulfillment of divine promise. The story heaven began is now alive in motion. The waiting is over. The work is complete. The promise stands. This is your night of fulfillment. This is the greatest thing ever. Chosen one. You've reached the end of this journey, but heaven never truly ends what it begins. What has awakened in you through these words will continue to unfold long after this moment. You are walking proof that divine purpose cannot be stopped, delayed, or denied. Tonight, you've stepped into something eternal, something that will echo through every day that follows. Now, let what was planted here grow. Carry this light with you, but don't carry it alone. Someone out there still wanders in the dark, waiting for the same hope that found you. When you share this message, you become a bridge for them. It's not about attention, it's about alignment. You might never know whose life will shift because of one small act of obedience, but heaven will. When you like this message, it becomes more than a gesture, it becomes agreement. It's your quiet Amen. Your way of saying, I receive this. And when you subscribe, you're not just following a voice, you're choosing to stay connected to a movement of awakening hearts across the world. This isn't a crowd, it's a calling. Before you leave this space, pause for a breath. Let gratitude rise in you. Then, comment something from your heart. One sentence, one prayer, even one word that captures what you feel. Your words might be the whisper someone else needs to keep going. Together, These comments become a river of testimony, a living record of what God can do when hearts listen. So go, light bearer, keep shining, keep standing, keep believing. The heavens have spoken over you, and this time, you heard it. You are chosen, you are ready, and the best is only beginning.